Hello and welcome to Kogi in Focus, a weekly review of happenings and development in and around Kogi, Nigeria's confluent state. I'm Oluwatosin Osuji. In today's package, Kogi State government sets up a restructured economic team to keep state economic plan on track. Kogi State distances itself, condemns arson attack on Dino Melaye School constituency project. And when we hit the street, we shall hear what the people have to say about late former South African President Nelson Mandela, whose 100th birthday was posthumously celebrated during the week. All these and more when we return. Don't go away. Welcome back. The Kogi State government has condemned the burning of one classroom of one block of floor classrooms at the government girls' secondary school in Sarki Noma, a suburb of the state capital, Lokoja. The classroom block is rumored to have been set ablaze by persons opposed to Senator Dino Melaye, who built the facility as part of a legislative constituency project. The Director General, Media and Publicity, Commissioner of Education, and other top government officials who were at the scene of the arson condemned it and promised to ensure the perpetrators are fished out.
Education is number one on the agenda of the present administration in the state, and government will always support anything that will promote education in the state. It is a government project done with government resources. So anybody who has vandalized it has really touched the tail of government, and definitely government will deal decisively with it.
Education is too important a sector for individuals to use it as a melting point for political differences, for mischief or whatsoever thing that there is. It should rather be that because we know Nigeria is behind, we're told that in 2018 UNICEF said that Nigeria has the highest number of out-of-school children in the world. His Excellency Governor Yahaya Bello is tackling Kogi State's own problem. But for any individual to sabotage that effort should be condemned by everybody.
The Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, Monday Couriers, who also promised to investigate the matter, warned against using self-help to settle scores.
So we are on it, investigating, and all those who perpetrated these acts would definitely be dealt with, will be arrested and prosecuted. We do not encourage such attitude.
Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello during the week welcomed members of the Okun Development Association from the Western Senatorial District of the state, who paid him a courtesy visit at Government House, Lokoja. Governor Bello told his visitors that his plans to positively transform Kogi State are on course, and the people of Kogi West are a big part of these plans. On the salary arrears owed civil servants in the state, Governor Bello said the issue will soon form part of Kogi State's history.
Lord has been demanded, Lord has been saved, and by the grace of God, I'll continue to do more. Support our people across the divide. Let me assure you that the issue of salaries of workers, by the grace of God, very soon it will be a thing of the past.
The national president of the Okun Development Association, Femi Mokinko, also expressed satisfaction with how the civil service ghost workers issue was handled and pleaded with the governor to match his promise on the salary arrears issue with action.
We hasten to add that this task is not for the government alone. It requires the active support, participation, and engagement of all citizens of the state. This is why we like to commend Your Excellency's effort in frontally confronting the issue of ghost workers in the state. It is a known fact that the issue of ghost workers is prevalent in many states of the Federation, including the federal government of Nigeria. Many of these other institutions have succeeded in permanently laying to rest the ghost of ghost workers, thus minimizing its impact on their finances.
He acknowledged the efforts of Governor Bello's administration in developing the state, but said more needs to be done in area of infrastructure.
Our visit to Your Excellency will be adjudged a failure if we fail to call attention to one area that is very important to our people. On behalf of the Okun people, we wish to note that one of the most important and easiest ways to leave lasting and visible legacies, which people will remain grateful for over a long period of time, is in the area of making movement of people, goods and services seamless and stressless.
Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Prince Matthew Kolawole, called on the people of Okun land, as Kogi West is fondly called, to support the state government in its efforts to make life meaningful for all residents of the state.
Finally, is back to Lagos. So what's our own? So I don't expect him to retire so quickly back to Lagos. Now that he has returned back to Lagos, let us come together on a very strong fold and support who God has given now.
The Secretary to the State Government, Ayode Folashade Arike, and the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Edward Onoja, echoed similar sentiments.
I know you to be somebody that do not pretend, sir. And I know that all your promises and everything you have laid down for the Okun people will come to pass. Amen. Take me by my word, because it's my governor and I believe so much in him.
I think in 2019, let us send responsible, state-loving, passionate people to the National Assembly so that they can cooperate with His Excellency and ensure that anything national and federal comes to all parts of Kogi State.
Governor Bello's itinerary that day also included the distribution of motor vehicles to the offices All Progressives Congress Elders Forum across the 21 local government areas of the state. If you are just joining us, this is Kogi in Focus, a weekly review program of government activities and happenings in and around Kogi State. For your information, contributions, event coverage, and advert placement, please contact us through our social media handles and phone numbers displayed on your screen.
Nigeria's confluent state, the country's melting pot, where almost anything and everything can happen. From the governor to the farmer, from politics to entertainment, from the economy to sports and tourism. We've got you covered on these and a whole lot more on Kogi in Focus. Kogi in Focus, a weekly review of developments in and around Kogi State. Stay abreast with what you need to know on Kogi in Focus on your channel of choice, Africa Independent Television. Kogi in Focus, reaching everywhere, informing everybody.
The Kogi State Director of Information and Grassroots Sensitization, Abdulkarim, during the week announced the setting up of a new economic team headed by Governor Yahya Bello. Abdul Karim, who made this known after this week's State Executive Council meeting, said the move is aimed at keeping the state's government's economic plans on track.
Previous economic team is expected to hand over immediately, while full report is forwarded to His Excellency the Governor in the next 1 week. All these measures are being taken by the state government to ensure that the new direction policy of the government is held on to tenaciously so as to ensure a delivery of dividend of democracy to the people of the state.
The Kogi State government also announced the approval of the appointment of Solomon Dele Awoniyi as the Obaworo of Kaba, months after the stool was declared vacant following the death of the former Obaro, His Royal Majesty Michael Olobayo. The Special Advisor on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Abubakar Ohiare, said the state government also upgraded some traditional rulers.
The council also considered the upgrading of Alhaji Muhammad Isa Kabiru II to first class as the new Mayaki of Kupa in Lokoja local government. Alhaji Muhammad Bello as the new Ohi of Adabe, Chief James Abalaka as first class traditional ruler for Eje of local government, Chief Simon Uja as the Eje of Oloma Boro local government, Mala Muhammad Adambe as the Adogu of Eganye as a second class status, Gabriel A. Ikono as second class status chief, as Onu of Ogolao.
Healthcare and tourism were also top on the agenda at the State ESCO meeting.
Commitment and determination to ensure smooth accreditation of the Medical School of Kogi State University, Ayingba. The State Executive Council today approved the sum of 1,679,183,205 naira for various capital projects in both Kogi State University Teaching Hospital and College of Health Sciences, Kogi State University, Ayingba. At the same time, 919,698,066 naira 60 kobo was approved as annual recurrent expenditure for both institutions to ensure smooth accreditation exercise. Also, approve the engagement of the Authority of Federal Medical Center, Lokoja, for clinical training of our medical students through an engagement with Federal Ministry of Health.
We received an approval from the state governor through the Executive Council for the rehabilitation of these tourism sites and historical monuments. This is in line with the new direction agenda of His Excellency to see to it that the state uses its internally generated revenue for the propagation of the new direction policy of the state and to also enhance the economic status of the state.
Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello has commissioned the Nigeria Bar Association Center in Lokoja. He called on the judiciary and lawyers to continue to defend the Nigerian Constitution without compromise.
Irrespective of party or other affiliations, the call of duty on politicians and leaders is to complement each other's efforts and so provide the best possible governance to our people. We accept that governance is more of complementation than competition. We work together so everyone can succeed.
Governor Bello used the opportunity to condemn recent arson attack on a block of classrooms of Government Girls Secondary School, Sarkin Noma.
We actively lobby the federal government, the private sector, and donor agencies to come over and help us. And therefore deeply sad at the wanton destruction of property visited on some of our schools, including Government Girls Secondary School, Sarkin Noma, Lokoja. I condemn as satanic and inhuman the setting ablaze of the classrooms built with public funds. I have directed security agencies to fish out the perpetrators, wherever they may be hidden.
The state's Chief Judge, Justice Nasiru Ajana, said the NBA Center will serve as a meeting point for lawyers and other judicial staff in the state.
What is important to us, sir, is that in the entire country, this is the first of such building that was initiated by the bar and completed by the bar. And I join the Bar Association in thanking Your Excellency for providing the wherewithal to complete this building. The legal profession has come a long way in Kogi State within the last 10 years in particular. First of all, we were able to bring justice closer to the people. We started with the Federal High Court. From the Federal High Court, we now have the National Industrial Court here. And with Your Excellency's kind support, we were able to bring the Court of Appeal to sit here for the first time.
The chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, Lokoja chapter, Muiz Yunus Abdullahi, expressed satisfaction with the association's relationship with all arms of government.
His Excellency Alhaji Yahya Adozabiru, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, we cannot thank you enough for your partnership, support, and the role you have played in no small measure to see to the completion of this edifice.
Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello has told intending Hajj pilgrims to display exemplary behavior while in Saudi Arabia. At the government house, Governor Bello told the 446 intending pilgrims to exhibit the character of true Muslim.
We're not expected to go and do any other thing other than to go and pray for ourselves, for our family, for our loved ones, for Mr. President, for our country, and for our state. Pray for peaceful coexistence. Pray for prosperity. Pray that may Almighty Allah wipe away our sins, and that this world that we are living in that is so temporary, that God bless it for us and grant us Al-Jannah to Firdaus. Even other pilgrims from other states and from other countries, if you see them weak and they need assistance, render helping hand, because it is still the way of Almighty Allah.
Chairman of the Kogi State Hajj Commission, Sheikh Lukman Abdullahi, commended the state's government over its commitment to ensure a successful pilgrimage.
As a matter of fact, you did it last year and you have done it this year again. You are always interested in the welfare of Kogites, whether they are in Kogi or outside Kogi. The medical personnel, you have put it in place. May I say that may Allah in His infinite mercy grant you long life, grant you more and more sound health.
Some of the intended pilgrims promised not to let the state and the country down while performing the spiritual exercise.
What you have done is good. We accept you, expect you to do more. Because Allah said, in Tansurullah, Yansur, what you said, Akdam. So it shall be with you. When you help because of Allah, Allah will help you and make you fit for.
A prayer for my state, for His Excellency. I'll pray for the success of Kogi State. I will continue to pray, even after Hajj.
This is my first time in my life. I was so appreciative to the Excellency, Bello, that helped us this way out today. Alhamdulillah.
We are going to expect more blessing from this to this state and the country in general. To be like about this citizen, they should do the normal things that is expected for them to be doing at all time.
Make sure we'll maybe do our best to make sure all the pilgrims that go are going to return inshallah, without staying there.
Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Kogi State is set to be one of the first to lift its programs for this year's exercise. Former Kogi State House of Assembly member and People's Democratic Party stalwart Gowon Paul Haruna says he is impressed with the performance of Governor Yahya Bello since he came into office. He said even though he belongs to a different political party, Governor Bello's effort at securing lives and property despite the challenges is worth commending.
I have the responsibility of supporting the government of the day in my state. And as a businessman, a stakeholder in the commerce and business dealings in Kogi State. You know, as a hospitality business stakeholder, if there is no security, nobody will come to patronize my hotel. So, and the government is providing security. And for that, I must commend this government, I must support this government. I have come to pledge my allegiance and support in its entirety for this government.
Haruna described the level of infrastructure development under the present administration as encouraging.
Owing us hoteliers in the whole state some money. You know, this man in his magnanimity, he called us, we didn't request for it. He called us through the DG protocol. He paid us that money. And we are still grateful to him for that. And, you know, infrastructural development, like the road to my hotel. Guests that are coming there commend this government. They say they cannot travel, leaving hotels in some other parts of the capital to come to that hotel because the road is now okay. NEPA was dealing with us anyhow. It is not NEPA again. AEDC, Abuja Electricity Distribution Company. They took light from this state for 7 months. His intervention brought light back to this state, among several others that I can mention. That it is my responsibility and my responsibility and responsibility of anybody that believes in me to support this government.
He called on citizens and residents of the state to support Governor Bello and his effort to positively transform Kogi State. If former South African president and anti-apartheid icon Nelson Mandela were still alive, he would have turned 100 years of age this week. That's why events in different parts of the globe to mark the birthday posthumously. We are not left out of the celebration on Kogi in Focus as we sought views of some traditional rulers, academians and political office holders on the late Nelson Mandela.
The legacy is left behind is the fight for his people, and he became a hero in South Africa, which I believe that every people that wants to be a leader must emulate his footsteps.
So somebody I respect to know, and somebody I see as my role model. What I learned from Nelson Mandela is that I have the spirit of taking your people from slavery, empowering your people, making people feel belong, protect your people, fight for your people.
Nelson Mandela and his legacies is also our focus on this week's Views from the Streets.
In his country, it is no longer that the Europeans alone rule them. They are no longer considered as inferior group of people. Though that racism was cancelled during his rule, and that's it.
Struggled for his people, and eventually he was jailed for over 27 years. And indeed, after that, became the president, and humbly, for him, after 4 years, he said he cannot do it again, and hand over the government to another person, which indeed we have not seen, even in Africa as a whole.
He was a man who believes in the rule of law. He was a man who believed in freedom, who believes in unity. He believes in one united nation.
believes in one Africa.
The legacy I know that he has is good governance that he has led for South African.
He touched the life of the vulnerable in African sub-region.
I know Nelson Mandela was a leader who, from his struggle with the whites for the liberation of his people and his sincere pattern of leadership, I think I will know him to be a mentor to leaders all over the world, not just Africa.
This is where we draw the curtain on this week's edition of Kogi in Focus. We hope it's been worth your while. And until I come your way, same time, same station, please continue to do unto others what you would want them to do to you. I'm Oluwatosin Osuji. Have a great week.